It's Tehachapi time. Key Budge, Corey Costello, Greg Garrett. Today's guest, Chris Morales from TCTA. Chris, welcome back.
Why, thank you so much. It's great to be here. This time, I've got three handsome men in front of me. So
who was that? Photo on the wall, or what are you talking about?
I don't know. It's an imagination of mine.
No, it's a pleasure to have you here.
You were here just a few short weeks ago. You and I had a discussion about T-Town tonight.
We did.
How'd that go?
It was fantastic. It was actually really incredible, and thank you so much for the promotion of that. I have to tell you, on Friday night, I was a little nervous. I was told there was only 57 tickets sold between Saturday and Sunday show. So I thought, oh, bummer. And then on Saturday show, there was a line out the door, and we turned people away.
You know, Tehachapi does that, right? Everything we do, it seems like we always are. I don't know. They teach it in the schools. I'm not sure, but super happy to hear that.
Yeah, it was great. Saturday show was absolutely sold out again. Nice. So people want to do that kind of more on a regular basis.
Love it.
Yeah. So we'll see what we can do with that.
Good things happening at the BeeKay Theater with Tehachapi Community Theater, leading the charge.
We're trying. We're doing the best we can.
Doing a great job.
Where's the horn?
Now, we brought you back in today because you're producing a show. You're the executive producer?
I'm the executive producer for TCTA. I'm the producer of Christmas Story, and I designed and built the sets for Christmas Story.
Every time I walk by Key and the BeeKay Theater door is open, I peek in, and Chris is there hammering.
It gets better and better.
Oh, it's a great set. Just the set alone is pretty amazing.
Been popping in for weeks, and it gets better and better. And you guys really have nailed that iconic, especially the kitchen where so much of that movie takes place. You guys have nailed that kitchen. It's awesome.
Well, I apologize for my attire. I always look really shabby, but you're gluing and nailing, and
we stole you away for 30 minutes.
You did, and it's great. It's great when people actually. When we have the door open, that people actually can just walk in. Mm-hmm. And we've done that several times. People just walk in, we give them a little tour real quick or talk about the history of the BeeKay or what we're doing. And we just hope that encourages people to know that the door is really literally always open if you want to come by and check it out.
It's a public asset, and you manage it well for us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. We love it.
Let's talk about A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
This is a staple. You know, the movie is what, I know, and I flash back and I think about, different scenes that pop, into my head right away. But what is this adaptation of A Christmas Story? Is it going to be similar to the movie, or was this originated from a book? Where are we going? Where is it taking us?
Okay, so I love the movie too. I've watched it year after year as a kid.
You'll shoot your eye out. Be careful. You'll shoot your eye out.
And Lifebuoy soap.
Yeah, it's on repeat for like 48 hours. TBS still puts it on for like 48 hours straight now on Christmas. Yeah, it's great on a loop.
Yeah. Well, the play's a little bit different. It still has all that. It's exactly like the movie in that respect, but it's a little bit different. It really is the perspective of Ralphie when he's having the memory of that time of Christmas. So there's the narration of Ralphie as he's an adult, and he's gone back into time, and that's what you're seeing on stage, is when he wants the Red Ryder, and the teacher tells him he's going to shoot his eye at, the Lifebuoy soap, and the beating up with Farkas.
And do you have the leg lamp?
We got the leg.
Yeah. I was telling Chris yesterday when I popped in about my mom and my sister bought me a leg lamp years ago. And it's about 3 feet tall, and I have it in my man cave. Yeah. And I was going to loan it, but you had already bought one.
We did.
So everybody should have their own leg lamp. Just saying.
Now, this leg lamp, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Is it still going to be auctioned off?
This leg lamp is going to be auctioned off. And we just had someone, I don't know who they are, but they just made us the crate for the leg lamp. It is heavy.
The Fragile crate?
The Fragile crate. That's right. Yeah, so we want to auction off the leg lamp. I'm going to ask if the crate goes with it. I don't know if the person wants the crate or not who made it, but if so, you'll get the crate and the leg lamp.
So when does we're veering way away from the Christmas
I know, right?
But when does the auction take place? How's that going to work?
So I think what we're doing is we're doing raffle tickets. Okay, at the door. So when you come in, you can get a raffle ticket. You can pay, I think it's $1, or I'm not exactly sure the dollar amount, but you'll get a raffle ticket. And then I believe on the last show, they will call out the number. And obviously, if you're not present, they'll have your name and number.
So not an auction where you're auctioning, you're competing for that.
Right.
You're auctioning up the value. It's going to be a sweepstakes.
I think it's like a sweepstakes thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know I believe they did an auction several years ago, And they made quite a bit of money, but I haven't been told all the ins and outs about the auction part. So I think they're getting a ticket.
Oh,
Very good.
I need to buy a whole strip of those tickets.
You want
Like the
another
guy,
leg
remember the
lamp?
guy
Like
at
you need another one.
at the football games? He would do the three, like,
Oh yeah,
you know,
arm length for like $20.
Yeah, $20.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
There you go.
50-50 stuff.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Anyway, back to the
Back
Christmas
to the
story
story.
play.
I
Sorry, Key.
You mentioned the voiceover, and it's coming from Ralphie's memories. He's pulling
Yes.
these. That threw me right to the movie Sandlot.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And that perspective, and it was
classic.
like, I go, oh my gosh, that's a great perspective for this, how you're going to make
Right.
this adaptation of the story.
Yeah, so Thayer Irvin, I think it's Thayer Irvin, he is playing the adult Ralphie, and so it's his voice that you'll be hearing. And then, of course, we have all the characters, and Monica Nadon plays the mother, and Dave Shacklock plays the old man, and we've got these young kids. I don't know their names, unfortunately, but they play Ralphie and Randy. And there's the whole oatmeal eating thing. And
Oh, what a funny, that was a great scene.
and hiding under the sink, and then the bunny outfit that he comes in that the aunt gives. So they've captured everything just like the movie, absolutely everything like the movie. So it's just the perspective that it's.
So really, you need to get your tickets now because
you
I
do.
have a feeling these may all be sold out.
What I can tell you is that so far the ticket sales have been amazing. And we do have the Bear Valley Women's Club who did buy out tickets for the last show on Sunday, whatever that last date is on a Sunday. So if you want a ticket on that Sunday, you'd have to talk to someone from the Women's Bear Valley Club to get that ticket.
Is this going to be like a Taylor Swift thing where all of a sudden tickets are not available
Exactly.
for Ticketmaster
That's
because
right.
someone went
I need
and
to pre-register.
bought them all up?
Yeah.
That's right. Go
Crash the
get
system.
them.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Congress gets involved. Right.
That's right.
Important stuff here.
This is huge things.
Yeah.
Well, I just talked with Claire Scotty. We did our podcast just before you came in with the weekly entertainment with wine and beer. And then she says that her, Chris, and their daughter Alicia, they're going to go to one of the matinees. And so she was like, I got to get my tickets. I don't want to wait. And I go, they've been selling out.
They
So
are.
don't wait. So
what are the dates? So it starts this Friday, and I'm going to pull up my calendar. I hope somebody already has. We're going to quickly
Right.
do
So
this.
it starts this Friday.
Yep.
So Friday,
December 2nd.
December 2nd. Doors open at 7:00. You can buy tickets online at tctonstage.com. But if you don't, for whatever reason, you can come to the door and see if there's tickets available. Usually there are, but double check.
So
So
even
on
if
the
it's sold out, you can still come and get those held back tickets.
That's right.
Okay.
There's a little surprise. So like online when it says sold out, everybody goes, oh, I'm not going to go. Go to the box office because we hold back about 50 tickets. So
Good to
people
know.
can buy them, people passing by or don't do internet or what have you. So just go to the box office.
Okay, so it starts December 2nd, tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday.
Saturday it also performs. And again, doors open at 7. Show starts at 7:30. And then Sunday they have some time off. So there's no show or matinee on Sunday. The following 2 weekends, thank you. The following 2 weekends, so Friday the 9th, and Saturday the 10th, both shows starting at 7:30. But Saturday the 10th, we're also doing a matinee that starts at 2 p.m. And Sunday the 11th, we're doing a matinee that starts at 2 p.m.
Okay.
And then the following weekend, which is our very last weekend, we have that Friday show, again, at 7:30, which is the December 16th. And then Saturday night, December 17th, and Saturday, December 17th, matinee at 2 p.m. and Sunday matinee the 18th.
Now, did the Bear Valley Women's Club buy up the Sunday the 18th?
They did, and if you want tickets, you'd have to contact someone from the Bear Valley Women's Club to get those tickets.
I think if you really want to go, grab another date, figure it out, buy it online, or go to the box office.
Yeah.
And what a great, if family comes into town, what a great treat. Take them to the BeeKay, see a play. It's just, it would be a really neat experience for people visiting our town.
Yeah, and this weekend, because a lot of people will be here because Dorner Family Vineyards, they've got their 2-day German Christmas festival going on. We've got the Tehachapi Hometown Christmas event. Everything starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, goes right through until the closing curtain of A Christmas Story.
Right.
Something to do here in downtown Tehachapi the entire time. But it will just throw out on the 3rd. So if you do come up for the Saturday the 3rd, Tehachapi Hometown Christmas, parking, you get here, give yourself a few extra minutes because Green Street is closed and we can't open it until we have the safety aspect. So if you're planning on trying to find that parking space on Green, it might not be available right at showtime for the 3rd. So get here, give yourselves a few extra minutes to find parking. But F Street should be open by then.
Yeah, I'm super excited what you guys are doing this for Tehachapi downtown. It's going to be so great. The decorations are already out there. We got the whole Christmas thing. The parade is going to happen. What a wonderful way to just end the evening by seeing a Christmas story. Or what a wonderful Christmas early gift. Come downtown, go to dinner, and then take your family and go see a play. Christmas done.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm impressed. I mean, and this happens with every production, but you all are able to maximize the space so well inside of BeeKay. But especially checking the set out of this one, you were able to obviously get the kitchen. We talked about a bit of a classroom and staircase and where Santa Claus sits. I mean, you really were able to sort of just maximize every little inch you have to get 4 or 5 different set locations.
Yeah, if you've ever been to the BeeKay, it is what it is. It can't get any bigger.
Yeah.
So we've really tried to find creative ways to use that stage. And so with Christmas Story, we found by just building out where normally we have some stairs to get onto the stage, we kind of put some what we call plugs so that Santa has his area and Ralphie has the bedroom area, and then you have the kitchen and the living room all center stage where all the action really happens. So we were trying to find creative ways to do that. And thankfully, a wonderful person named Rob Dixon donated us the vintage refrigerator and stove. Yeah. And, of course, good old Kenny Harrison, he gave us the blue bowling ball.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
So it's wonderful when the community comes together and really helps out with the production.
It's like working in a submarine.
Kind of is.
Yeah,
kind of is. Duck. Oh.
Right. Step over.
Step over, things. Move.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Each time I like to talk about the chemistry of your cast and crew and how that's going, because everyone gets excited about this new chemistry of the new format, the new roster, if you will,
right,
of this lineup. So what's it like? What are you seeing? Because I'm sure you've, even as a producer, you're kind of taking a look from the back of the room and
sure,
and paying attention to what's going on.
Sure. It's fun because when you get a new cast or you get people to direct for the first time or even for the third time, but it's been many, many years, it's really kind of an interesting dynamic of what they remember and then they bring to the table, and then young kids who've never been on stage before and what they're trying to catch up and experience and learn really fast. And then, of course, when they get a little bit more confident, they kind of like strut a little bit. So it's kind of nice to see all that. And then I do get to see what the directors bring to the table. I do get to see what the cast brings to the table because everybody is a volunteer. And so I'm going to ask you the next time, hey, you want to work on that show? You did a great time, with Christmas Story. Hey, you want to work on this? You were beautiful. Your acting was fantastic. So I do look at that when I watch the shows because we have so many other shows coming down the line that you always want to make sure that the chemistry and the people are learning, and we just create a positive environment while they're on stage.
And the individuals, like you say, they're volunteers, and they spend their own time, their own money, mm-hmm. and their heart and soul goes into this production, and you'll see it, you'll feel it.
Mm-hmm. You will feel it. You definitely will feel it. I mean, I've been part of theater for many, 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 many years, but I have to tell you, the BeeKay Theater is something that I really enjoy going to and just sitting there. There's something what Tehachapi has created, what you guys have created when you rebuilt it, because I learned about that just not too long ago. What you created was really magical, and I've been in lots of theaters through my whole entire life, but the BeeKay has that sense of, one, obviously community, but it's very intimate in a really special way. It feels big and powerful, and yet it has such an intimacy that you just feel like you're at home. So it's really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, it worked out well.
So we've got 3 weekends that this will be playing. And then we've just recently had auditions for something else that's coming up.
So Gary Mazzola is doing the show Love, L-U-V. And it's a very wonderful, funny, small cast. I think there's 3 or 4 people in it. They're having auditions this weekend over at J Street, which is behind Home Depot. And it's, I think, 2 or 3 men and 1 female. Fun, very fast-paced. It's about, love gone wrong, and I'm going to jump off the bridge. And then he meets this guy, and the guy kind of changes his whole life around by teaching him about the world and life. And, another woman comes into the picture, and then they're off to the races. Mm-hmm. So it's very fun. It's very small, and it's not a very big set, but you will see a bridge on our stage.
Okay.
You'll see
Sounds like a
bridge.
Warren Beatty, Barbara Streisand
It
type.
kind of be a little bit like that,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. Why didn't flashed on that?
I know. Well,
where
it
did that
could've
come
been.
from?
I don't know. A Star is Born or whatever.
And will that debut in January or February?
That's going to be in February.
Okay.
That show's going to open in February. So just right about Valentine's Day. I think I have the dates on that one, but it is right around Valentine's Day, I do believe.
Okay, perfect. That's a
That's
great way
something to look forward to, right? Because
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time. I mean, getting to this point for the Christmas Story, it's not just the actors. It's not just the lighting. It's not just the sound. It's not just the stage being built. It's everything that you have to bring together, and then you have to tear it down, and then you have to start
Right.
again, and you've got your off stage on J Street. So things are happening, all over the community for tomorrow and next month and beyond.
Yeah, people often have said, I don't realize how much work really goes into putting on a production. I mean, we have to stay within a budget so that we can always make a little bit of money to do the next show because royalties are expensive. So when you guys see the set and you see everything that's part of that set, let me tell you, we repurpose, reuse. I mean, we are painting things over and over again. And if we can get things donated, that's what we're doing. But, really what we're trying to do is better the theater with every ticket price. So we're trying to bring newer things that we can, newer shows that we can afford, try to put an extra light or two that's LED rather than the old hot ones so people aren't sweating. We're just trying to take care of things so that we can bring better shows and show better shows.
When you talk about tickets, what are the tickets? How much are they?
Tickets right now are $20 a ticket.
$20 sounds like a deal to me.
Yeah, and if you're a member, if you're a TCTA member and you have a membership, which is a minimum of $35 a year, you can actually get $5 off your ticket.
Oh, that would be me. What about you two guys?
Every time we have some TCTA on, I get that question from Greg. I knew that was happening.
I think I'm a member of every I'm a member of every nonprofit in this town, and you need to follow my lead.
There you go.
I knew that was coming.
You are. I just choose to pay full price so that way they can
That
get
works too.
all of the
That
money.
works
That's
too.
right.
And
That
now I'm
works
not looking
too.
for the discount.
There you go.
Oh, what a good guy.
Well played, Keith. Well played. My man.
How
But
many?
you accept donations too, right? If somebody
sure.
wanted to just donate some time or money,
Well, that's kind of the thing too, is like sponsorship, right? Donations and sponsorship. If you wanted to sponsor a play or you want to sponsor part of a play, we're open to that.
Okay.
So just come in. You can talk to me. I'm the executive producer. You can talk to me. You can talk to our president, Dave Faber. But we will walk you through that process. And if you have like something that you're really excited about, like we're doing Addams Family musical in September. So if that just pulls at your heartstrings and you're like, what, I would love to sponsor something about that, call me up. Let's do that.
I did sponsor one of the events
okay,
personally.
okay.
And I had the Tehachapi logo and QR code put into the program.
Right.
I didn't have the Budge family, but I did make sure that we were represented in one of the playbills.
Yes, you did, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You did.
Yeah, and that's thanks to Andy Hicks, because Andy is relentless, very kind and very nice and very
man.
sweet. And she goes, "Hey, Key, hey."
Oh,
And
that
it's like
little-
she broke me down.
She did.
That
She
little
did,
lady
yeah.
pushes until she gets what she wants.
right.
That's right.
She knows how to do it.
Well, the trade deal was I want to make sure we talk about all the TCTA events. I go, I'm in, but I want to make sure that we're the first ones to get exclusives here with, like we are today, with Chris
Smart.
Morales
Oh,
to
smart.
talk about A Christmas Story.
Right.
So as we want to remind everyone as you're listening, go to tctonstage.com. You can get tickets, whether it's for this, A Christmas Carol Love that comes up in February, or one of the future events. How many productions do we look at a year?
We try to put together at least 8 productions a year. Last year we did 12.
Wow.
We did 12, and that was because we filled them in with, I think it was Banshee in the Kitchen was in there, and then we had like a baseball play that was supposed to happen.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Christy Mathewson.
Yeah, that one was happening. We threw T-Town in the middle of that. Tada did something in the middle of that. We had Playwrights Festival in the middle of that. So outside of our normal season of plays, we're always trying to keep the BeeKay busy. So if anybody's interested in doing something at the BeeKay, come on, talk to me about it. If you have a party, a graduation, you want to do some kind of a musical show, let me know. The BeeKay is open to everybody, and it's not about, I wonder how much they charge for rent. We don't work that way. We do need to make money, but it really is about partnering with our community. So just talk to me about it, and we will find a way.
Love that.
I do too. I was just thinking about the school-age children, high school. I don't know if they have a performing arts class, or is there any interaction between TCT and the TUSD, Tehachapi Unified School District?
Monica Nadon has come to us, and so I think she wants to do something this coming year over there, so we're going to do that.
Could be an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. We do want to get back into working with the kids. It hasn't happened in quite a long time, but we want to get back into doing that, and Tada kind of started us doing that, so now Monica's coming in, and we would like to definitely work with Valley Oaks. I work with Valley Oaks anyways, but if they needed to use a facility outside of what I do with them, then it's fine. Same thing with, Golden Hills Elementary School or in Tompkins. It doesn't really matter. You guys can use our facility. We want kids to be part of it.
Okay. Should we send them to tctonstage.com to get your contact information, or do you want to share how they can reach out to you?
Sure, you can do it that way, tct.com, onstage.com. And on there, it'll say my name, Chris Morales, executive producer, and then you can just send it right to me. Or you can just send it to my own personal email, which is fine, but I'll probably get inundated.
Yeah, and then people can always, at the city, we can contact Key or anybody here at the city. We can always push that on.
Yeah, that's true.
Push that forward.
Send an email to us at media@tehachapicityhall.com, and I'll get it out to you.
Yeah.
And then also, it brought to mind, you were in what you were just describing, is there's other opportunities for people that are a part of the group.
Yes.
We had the reenactment historic film that the Heritage League put together, and TCTA played an integral part of that.
Yeah, so Tom Mills came to us and asked if we had any actors for that. And so we held auditions at the BeeKay Theater. And I called all the actors that I knew that are part of TCTA, and they came, and everybody got a part. Everybody got a part. I even got a part. It was fantastic. And anyway, so then he made the film, and we got to see it, and it was a wonderful film. I had no idea what really happened back then when the big earthquake hit, and the stories of the people that are still here in Tehachapi and how it affected their lives when they came here. So that in itself is very helpful to have the BeeKay Theater, which was part of that earthquake because it stood, to have that history. And then to have the film, and to now have people come to the BeeKay. There's a lot of history and a lot of excitement around the BeeKay.
And that video or DVD is still available at the Heritage League Museum.
Yes, it is.
On Green Street. So if you want to purchase that, a great production.
It was really nice. He did a great job with that. He really, really did. This is fun. I want to do this every day.
We should have a podcast play.
I would love that.
How would you?
You'd have to get the rights to it. I'd love to do one of those radio.
But I mean, what do you mean the rights? The rights is us, isn't it? What do you mean?
Yeah, I had a friend at the very early stages of podcasting. This we're talking about the early 2000s when it just started happening. He actually created a podcast, but it was all satire. It was a fictional about a radio station, little small mom and pop radio station back east, and the talk show. But the podcast was basically these characters. And it was a brilliant podcast.
Remember
WKRP
in Cincinnati?
Yes.
It was very similar to that.
It was awesome show.
It was a great show.
It was, and all the actors were the hosts and the podcast on the show, and that's what they use of the podcast. So
get little singers back there.
And it could all be about what's happening in our city and our community, the economic development, the quality of life, and all those different things. And it could really, I think we could thread something together. It'd be pretty cool.
It's funny that you say that because for a while I had this idea, and I was going to do it at the BeeKay. It was called Spotlight. And it was about talking to people in our community, like yourself or like you, Key, or Corey, or our police people, or any of our vendors and people, and just talk with them about why they're here, what makes this work for you, and show some of the interesting people of our community, because it is amazing when you really do some stuff. Who comes out of the woodworks, the artists, the musicians, just the people that have given up their normal life to now raise cattle, or do horseback riding for whatever reason. It's amazing what's here.
And that's the comment I had with Andy Hicks, and I know you're in a similar boat, but people that have theater experience and performance experience elsewhere, and they come to Tehachapi and they don't look down on the BeeKay, and they don't say, oh, this is such a small space compared to what I'm used to. But they, like I said, using their powers for good.
Right.
They come in and say, let's make the most of this. Let's put on great performances. Let's get more people involved. That's awesome when people do that. They don't come in to try to change the culture necessarily, but they come in to try to just maximize the potential.
We're rising together.
Exactly. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
It seems like there's the right group of people, the right energy is involved, because I'm hearing more about TCTA than I ever have living here 20 years. Now, maybe it's because we're doing the podcast and other things, but I'm hearing a lot more about it throughout the community.
Right.
I mean, is the energy changed, or is it just me and my perspective?
No, I was thinking the same thing just a couple of minutes ago. I was thinking to myself way back when, almost 20 years ago, the city put together, with the city council and we had design charrettes and different things with citizens. And we said, what do we want to look like when we grow up? And specifically in this case, what do we want downtown to look like if we were to be so fortunate to figure this out, get some grant money and different things. And so we designed a lot of different elements of downtown. And here we are 18 years later, and voila. I mean, now the partnerships have blossomed, and places like the BeeKay Theater and so many others. That would be a good podcast, wouldn't it?
It would be a great.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. But it's just very satisfying, fulfilling, and I'm so proud of everyone that was involved and is involved today.
Yeah, I think you're right, Key. It has really, really changed. I know I came aboard to TCTA about in 2011, something like that. Monica Nadon got me in, and I just thought, oh, what is this little mom and pop thing? How cute you people are. And then I did Red Velvet Cake Wars, and I had a blast. I thought, this is phenomenal. And then, I just started getting more and more involved. And all of my experience just sort of came to the table, and eventually I ended up on the board about 2 years ago, and I thought, I need to keep moving us forward. I need the support of this board to start getting more involved in our community. And we have an amazing board right now. Andy Hicks is on the board, Dave Faber's on the board, Vivette Lund, Kenny Chugg is on the board, David Stenstrom is on the board, and Lisa Meredith. And we all work really well together. We're like siblings. We do fight, but we fight for a greater good. And so we are really moving TCTA forward and trying to do better than our predecessors, because it's important. I mean, this is, to me, entertainment is everything in everybody's life. When life is tough, you want to laugh, or you want a good cup of coffee. I don't care which one it is. I'm happy to do either, but laughing is better for me. So I want to bring that to the table any way I can.
Yeah, you always want to push to be better. Always.
Yeah.
Well,
educate yourself and be better.
In hearing some of the names that you mentioned that are on the board, you've got Andy, and like I said, Andy's relentless in her sweet way, and then David Stenstrom.
Crazy
That
guy,
energy.
right?
Oh, I don't think you guys have been here when I've
I don't
had
think
him
so,
in here.
huh?
Oh, the next time David comes in, you guys both have to sit here.
He's a wild man.
Oh my gosh, the energy that comes out of him and the passion.
Yeah, he's
So
very passionate.
I can just see that as you guys all start talking. You've got the common passion. You guys have a common goal, but you each have your vision to get to that vision, or
Right.
that path is different.
And that's palpable, dude. That has an impact on the audience.
It
You know,
does.
I mean, years ago I had an announcing gig. It was at the old Mason Marine Raceway, and the owner, Larry Collins, every night, and my first night at doing it, and the 2 years I did it before they closed down, he'd get on the radio, and before we started the show, basically, because it was always a show, and he'd be like, remember guys, if you're excited, they're excited. And that
Right.
was the point, it's like, show your excitement so the crowd's excited and the community's excited about what you're doing, and people definitely feel that energy that you guys have.
Oh, good. Because, David is crazy. I just certifiable. Just kidding. No, he is very passionate. He does have a lot of energy. And that, I think, is what we look for when we talk about directors, when we talk about actors, when we talk about board members. Bring that to the table. Everybody can be part of something, but it's what you bring to the table that's going to mean more to us rather than, just I'm a business guy, I'm a business gal. You've got to bring a little bit more to me. Because that's just like what theater is. You get one shot when you audition. That's it. Either you do your best at that one audition or you don't, because they're not going to ask you to come back. So it's the same thing when we look at people to direct or to be part of the theater. You get one shot.
Well, you know what? You're point on with that, because we had our initial show with TCTA and the BeeKay, and it was that engaging conversation where it says, we're going to call you back. And let's call you back each time you do a production.
Right.
So it grew from something, let's say, oh, okay, this will be in our annual conversation. We'll talk about TCTA. And I was like, no, there's more to this. There's more stories to tell, especially with the individual directors and the talent that's involved, that it's become next production, you got to come in.
That's right.
So, I mean, that's compliments to you, because that is
thank you.
definitely feeding out, and that's some of the energy that we receive is like, okay, it's time for another conversation.
Right.
Key, if we had to have auditions for the podcast, would you hire Corey and I, or would you pass us over? Did we?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. What about
Let's
me?
see.
How about
I don't know. I signed
Chris,
the
we
paycheck.
might give you
so
a
I
call
might
back.
just,
Unfortunately,
well, he's already trying to push us out with Ashley.
Look,
All right, so she's coming in, and I can see that.
you have to cast me because Bradley Cooper's not available to play me.
Oh, there it is.
So
If we
you
ever
know,
do video podcasting, you're gonna see just the opposite of that.
you can't quite get
What
can't
we'll
get
do-
Matthew McConaughey to fit you into his schedule.
There
Corey,
you
you know,
go.
if
Corey.
Ashley wasn't, her son graduated from Army boot
Yeah,
camp.
today.
Thank God,
Yeah.
thank God for the American soldier, and we appreciate his service. But she's back east for his graduation. Had she not been back east, I think that you and I would not have been invited
No,
to this.
we would have
And
been
Key would have just
completely forgotten
grabbed
about-
Ashley.
Yep.
You know what's
And
crazy?
Chris Morales and had a great podcast,
We
I have to
would've.
say.
Right? But,
But-
Yes.
we wouldn't have had you guys.
Well,
Key doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
I'm good. I can do the show alone.
That's right.
It's a one-man show. No, it definitely. We all bring our own little flavor to it, and it's the conversation, and it's something that gets said, then it sparks something for me,
Yeah.
and vice versa. Corey gets a flashback to the old Raceway days.
Whatever, yeah.
oh, there you go.
But
It
it's
could
all
be
relatable.
the podcast play could be titled "The Conversation."
It
Why
is.
not?
Oh, there you go.
The chat, the conversation.
Would you like to produce this podcast?
I would love to.
Can you write it as well?
I
Just
can
so
write
that you,
it. I
just
can
so that
make
you
it
know,
happen.
you're going to do it on your own time.
You don't-
not
That's
sitting tight.
right.
As soon as Chris takes over as producing that, we're all out.
That's right.
You
You're
know
done.
that she's going to
That's
recast
just-
it. She's going to recast it.
No, I promise I'll keep you
We'll
all
be
wink,
technical
wink.
advisors is all we will be. Yeah.
So, Chris, just thank you for coming in. This was another one of those, hey, because the director was tight on schedule, and you said you'd come in, and we had a brief conversation about this before T-Town tonight, and all of a sudden, it's opening night coming
Yeah,
up.
it's quick.
So we got to get this conversation out. We want all the shows to sell out. So it's the next 3 weekends. So the first 3 weekends in December.
Correct.
BeeKay Theater, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we've got showings. We want you to go to tctonstage.com. And if it says sold out, come to the box office.
That's right.
Because you hold back about 50 tickets per show.
Right.
So there's a great chance, as long as you get there early to the box office, that you can find a seat.
And for $15 if you're a member, or $20 if you're not, you're going to be entertained for 30, 40 minutes.
Oh, at least 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Holy moly.
And
Is
there's
there an
snacks.
intermission? Is there
There
a
is, and then
Yeah.
snacks.
Thank God, my blood sugar would get low.
Cookies and licorice and Cracker Jacks.
Okay. There you go.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Chris. Appreciate the time and all the effort and energy that you put into our local playhouse and in motivating this community behind this art, because this is going to be cool. Another adaptation, another viewpoint of this classic Christmas story, and what a way to kick off the Christmas season, with this.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I'm happy to talk about any show, and I'm happy to hang out with you guys anytime. But you guys have to bring donuts next time.
We'll have
We'll get you donuts. We'll get you some donuts next time, and we'll bring in David Stenstrom, so that energy will vibrate
go.
throughout
Oh,
the
yeah.
room. It will.
It'll bounce.
Yes, it'll off the walls.
I'm a little concerned.
But we will not be involved. You and I, Greg, not involved.
No, yeah,
At
that's
all.
right.
There might
You
be some
can. You
goodness
can.
cereal.
I'll
Squeezed out.
grab Ashley for that one. Go ahead.
Well, folks, again, it's a Christmas story. It's the first 3 weekends in December, and we invite you to go to tctonstage.com to get the tickets, or go to the box office and get one of those secret held back tickets that Chris keeps back for every production. And we just invite you to check it out if you haven't, and become a member like Greg is. And so those are the things that we invite you to do to be a part of the community. Chris, again, thank you.
Sure, thank you.
And Greg, Corey.
No, we're good. Rain or
excited.
shine,
Looking
right?
forward to it.
Rain or
That's right.
shine.
Rain or shine, we're
Rain
here.
or shine.
All right,
No
folks.
worries.
Send your questions, and if you have one for Chris, you can send it to us at media@TehachapiCityHall.com. We'll get it to her. Questions for us, show thoughts, ideas. This is how we work. We take those ideas and we try to put them in motion. So we appreciate the time, and we'll catch you again soon right here on Tehachapod.
Tehachapod is a conversation about Tehachapi designed for the people who live here or who would like to know more about this mountaintop community. If you have a question you would like answered, email media@TehachapiCityHall.com. We will try to answer it on a future episode of Tehachapod.